Hi guys, this is Yaya. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. Either way, you are welcome. By the way, I stole that from Maha Maven right here on YouTube, my fellow African sister. She's awesome. Go check her out. So as promised, this is that follow-up video about the law of attraction, and I'm just going to jump right in because we have lots to get to. I'm going to begin the video with definitions, talking about Newton's third law of motion, which is central to this theory we've been talking about. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. For instance, if I hit this table with a light pound, the table will hit me back with an equal force. Yes, I had to go grab my glasses because my eyes started to burn a little bit. But anyways, back to Newton's third law of motion. The first time I heard of it was in physics class. And if you really think about it, it's kind of similar to this whole what goes around comes around. Whatever you put out there comes right back to you. My first introduction to The Secret was on YouTube. I came across this video of the Oprah show, which had Jim Carrey in it, among other people who were talking about this law of attraction. I'll try to find that video and link it down below. But in the video, Jim Carrey talks about visualization and talks about how he wrote himself a check for $10 million, and then he put it in his wallet and carried it around, and it started to crumble and crumble and crumble. And after about 5 years, he ended up making that $10 million on Dumb and Dumber. So that's not to say that you should write a check for $10 million and then just sit there and go eat a sandwich. You actually have to take the steps toward getting the $10 million. God helps those who help themselves. You got to pray to God or ask the universe for whatever it is you're wanting, and you got to be specific too. And I say that for a reason, which I'll get back to in a little bit. So when you pray to God, believe that whatever it is you're wanting is already yours. Visualize it. That's what having faith is all about. Believing in something you can't really see quite yet. Now, let's say you're wanting a husband. Ask God or the universe for a husband. Don't ask for a relationship or ask for a boyfriend, because you just might get that. And is that relationship going to evolve into an engagement and eventually a marriage? Is that boyfriend going to propose to you? Probably not. So ask for what you want. If you're wanting a God-fearing man, someone who believes in a higher power, someone who has a sense of humor, someone who is driven, ask for that. Because if you don't, you just might get that husband, and don't turn around and be mad when this man is a slob, doesn't cut the grass, eats like crap. It is also important to remember that you attract what you are. You do not attract what you want. And that's that law of attraction, again, coming into play. You cannot eat like crap, don't have your money situation together, have a low self-esteem, and then be asking for a guy who is financially stable, goes to the gym all the time, and is overall just happy with the way he looks and the way he feels inside. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to do your own soul surgery before and basically become the best version of yourself so you can attract your equal. At the end of the day, you have to love you first. You cannot expect somebody else to love you if you don't love yourself. You cannot be asking God for a husband and expect that husband to fall down from the sky onto your doorstep. When we all love that, you got to do your part. People always forget that you are co-creating your life with God. You cannot do it on your own, and God cannot lead you to where He wants to take you without you following His lead. The same way when you cut off a branch from a tree, it withers and dies. That's the same way you will wither and die if you cut yourself off from the source, which is God. And again, God cannot take you to where He's wanting to take you. Yeah, He might have big plans for you, but you cannot get there without following His lead. You got to listen. You got to pay attention. You cannot be going to work and coming home, and sitting there wondering, oh God, where is my husband now? You might not like anybody at work. You might not like anyone on your commute home, on the bus you ride or the train you ride. You might not like anybody in the coffee shop you stop at every day before work. So where are you going to find this husband at if you just keep coming home? You got to do your part. Now, am I advocating for you to go to a bar or to a club to find a guy? Not necessarily. Not to say that you might not find your soulmate there, but I highly, highly doubt it. What I do suggest, however, is find something you like to do. Find a hobby. If you like to work out, you like to swim, go do those things. And by the way, that's exercise is good for your body too. And then you might run into somebody that you like. You already have something in common. You both like to work out. You both like to swim. But don't also think that every guy you run into at the gym and have a great conversation with is going to be your husband. I mean, we females have a tendency of catching feelings really quickly. I was gonna say guys too, but I'm not a guy, so I can't speak for guys. Just relax. He was just being professional. He was being nice, trying to hold a conversation with you. He probably is married, probably has a girlfriend, probably has some kids. He's just being nice. Chivalry is not dead. Now, on to the next part of this video, which I already know is going to be very controversial. So I'm just going to put it out there. The poor, poor because they attracted poverty into your lives. So cancer patients have cancer because they attracted the cancer into your lives. There's several ways to answer this question, so I'm going to break it down. We're going to start with the first one. The poor, poor because they attracted poverty in your lives. First, we have to start with the literal definition of poor, not like the millennial definition of poor, meaning, oh, I can't go out to eat tonight. Oh, I can't go out to have a few drinks tonight, so I'm poor. I mean, like, dirt poor, don't have any food, don't have any shelters, you're even lucky you have clothes on your back, that kind of poor. The answer is no. The poor are not poor because they attracted poverty into their lives. The same way that you don't choose where you're going to be born, you don't choose what you're going to be born as. You don't choose like your race, you don't choose to be black, white, Puerto Rican, you don't choose to be born into royalty, and you don't choose to be born to the parents that you were born to. You don't choose to be born into poverty as well. But the poor, I believe, can also get out of this cycle of poverty if someone steps in to interrupt the pattern, meaning someone steps in and gives them the opportunity, the tools they need to get out of poverty, like the knowledge, the information they need. Now, on to the second question. Do cancer patients have cancer because they attracted the cancer in their lives? Yes and no. And hear me out first. No, again, because that could be genetic. Macmillan Cancer Support says that fair-skinned people have a greater risk than black or brown-skinned people. This is because the pigment in darker skin gives protection. Other risk factors include previous skin cancers, previous radiotherapy treatment, lowered immunity, overexposure to chemicals at work, and rare genetic conditions. However, you did attract cancer in your life. Let's be specific. Skin cancer, for instance. You would have attracted it in your life if you sit out in the sun all day, tanning, don't put in your SPF to protect your skin. According to WebMD, most skin cancers are caused by exposure to ultraviolet UV light. When you don't protect your skin, UV rays from sunlight or tanning beds can damage your skin's DNA. When the DNA is altered, it can't properly control skin cell growth, leading to cancer. It is the same thing, I believe, with getting into a car accident. Did you attract that car accident into your life? Now, it's one thing if you're sitting at a red light, mind your own business, and someone comes from behind and crashes right into you. Now, I could argue that you may have attracted that into your life by doing something else to someone else, and what goes around comes back around, and this is just your punishment for whatever it is that you might have done. But I'm not going to go there, because how is it my fault that I'm sitting there paying attention at the red light and somebody else is over there on your phone texting and then they crash into me? But now, if you are the person who crashes into someone sitting at the red light, that could be a different story. This is where the argument changes, because I believe that the universe speaks to you in whispers. The same way that if you're late on your bill, like your electric bill, for instance, if you don't pay your electric bill on time, you get a notice. You don't pay it after like 2 or 3 days, or maybe a week. It depends on what state you are in. So you don't pay for a couple of days, you get another warning. The third time they just cut off your electricity. You might have gotten into a minor fender bender before, maybe because you were not paying attention, you were distracted, maybe eating, texting, but no one got hurt. That's your whisper, I believe. Then you get into another car accident. This one a tad bit more serious than the previous one. That is your whisper getting louder. If you continue to do the same thing over and over again and not pay attention to the signs the universe is sending you, the next time you might get into a car accident and it might not be pretty. This time someone might lose their life, and that's your whisper that has now become like a wall, falling down, crashing down onto your head. I don't believe that anyone gets into car accidents out of the blue. There has to have been warning signs all along. that you chose to ignore.